You're listening to the Country Chat Podcast with your host, Dom. Subscribe, give a 5-star rating, and follow us on Twitter at country_chat. And stay up to date.
Hi there, you're listening to the Country Chat Podcast with me, Dom. Today I've got another Yorkshire person with me today, a northerner, and I've got to apologise in advance because when I talk to people from Yorkshire, my accent comes out really thick. I can talk in a posher accent, but yeah, whenever I talk to anybody from Yorkshire, it does come out. So I do apologise in advance, and her name is Harriet Rose Grant. Hi, Harriet.
Hiya.
How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Now, people call you H.
Yeah, nickname H.
Where did that all stem from? Is that just life?
Yeah, I think so. My dad called me. It was always my dad's nickname, but then I think, yeah, people have just caught on to it, really.
Oh, fair enough. How's everything treating you now then? Obviously, I hate talking about this, but it's what is happening now. It's coronavirus, and we've all been locked down for like 3 months now. Everybody's not doing anything. You know, how are you coping with it all?
I think I'm doing all right. To start with, it was really rough. Yeah, I didn't really cope at the beginning, but I think you just kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
And get to a point where you're like, okay, well, I've got to get on with it. Let's make something out of it, whatever that'll be. But yeah. I think I'm all right now.
I mean, I know where you're coming from because at first it's such a big change, and I suffer with depression and anxiety really bad, and I got this almost like cabin fever to begin with.
Yeah.
So when you're stuck in like the same four walls, I mean, we're lucky up here because a lot of the houses do have like gardens, unless you're in like the city centre, and then you've got, you know, you're just in an apartment. So at least we've got like space to roam around.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't like sit in a garden or just go somewhere for a walk.
Yeah.
I'd have lost. Probably would have lost it.
Now we're chatting on Zoom, and just for everybody out there, it is the 10th of June. The time now is 3:09. This podcast will probably be on the air for, I don't know how many years they stay on for. It's like forever. So it's just to give the listeners an idea of where we are time frame. And we're on talking on Zoom, and I can see in like your room, I see a Southern Comfort bottle with some flowers in the bottle?
They're not real flowers.
Oh, the fake flowers.
Yeah, just to look pretty. Yeah.
It completes the room.
Yeah. I normally take it when I do gigs. It's normally on my merch table with some little fairy lights in it.
Oh,
so it's
that's
quite
awesome.
pretty.
I mean, I've got Jack Daniel's bottles and Jim Beam bottles downstairs, so I was thinking like cutting the bottom of it and having like fairy lights in there to put like around the garden just to make it sparkle a bit.
No, you should do it. You can just spread it through the top. I have got a Jack Daniel's bottle downstairs that I wanted to put a light bulb in, you know, like one of those cool ones, but I don't know how to start with cutting glass and stuff like that.
Oh, God. I keep watching like YouTube videos on everything, like especially like home DIY, and it's like, oh my God, I could do this. I don't have to pay somebody to change this now. It's great.
DIY expert.
Well, it's YouTube. YouTube teaches us everything.
Yeah, no, it does. It's good for cooking, that's for sure.
Now, one thing YouTube's good for is discovering music.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered quite a lot of your music through YouTube.
Oh no.
Oh, what's up?
It's not... Gosh.
Especially like 2014.
Yeah, no, can we not?
Thing is, though, I watch these videos, and yes, it's like the music awards in northern towns. I won't mention town names, but listen to your voice then, and then like listen to it now, especially during your live streams. You still had a powerful set of lungs, a lot younger.
Yeah. When I first started out, actually, I started in a rock band. I did used to just kind of blast everything as loud as I could. But yeah, still here, still a strong voice, but I don't know where it came from back then. I think I just wanted to be a rock star, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're from Yorkshire, you're from like the Sheffield area. A lot of music comes from like Sheffield. It's like Pulp and Arctic Monkeys and Reverend and the Makers, indie bands, indie rocky bands, and that's what I grew up with. You know, I'm 27, so I was brought up in this like indie punky poppy era. You know, is that what like influences you going into music at a young age?
It was. I mean, I grew up in terms of paying attention to music. I grew up with my dad and my brother, so it was like I had my brother's side of it, which was a lot of the punk and Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41, and a lot of the indie stuff as well, Arctic Monkeys. And then I had my dad's side, which was like the Smiths, and that was a lot of what I was brought up on. And then in my early teens, I found Taylor Swift and Lady Antebellum. Was like, oh my god, this is me. This is where I belong. Not your stuff. Like this is what I want. But I do think I carry probably more of the indie side when I write my songs, rather than the straight up country influence.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, you've got a southern twang, but it's not a twang. It's like it's just a southern feel to your voice. Now, I've been listening to some of your songs. I'm not going to mention the name of the songs, because some of them may be on your new EP. Now, do you want to tell us quickly, like, the new EP, it was supposed to come out earlier. What's happening with it?
So the original plan with the EP was to have it out about March, April time. I went into the studio back in January, so it was all set up and it seemed like this perfect plan. And then obviously Corona came along and said no to that. And I couldn't get into a studio to do anything, any of the changes I needed. So it's kind of just come to a bit of a standstill, unfortunately.
It's a shame that. I mean, it's affected a lot of people, you know, quite drastically. The fact that they can't go into studios. A lot of artists don't have the home equipment to, you know, to get even like the laying down the tracks. You know, is that something that you've been finding? Do you have anything at home that you can like lay down music with?
No, I mean, in hindsight, you're like, I'm going to buy a load of stuff when this is, I can, just so I've got it, should this happen again at any point. I've got a microphone and whatnot, but my computer just, it doesn't handle it, so I can't even record. The minute I open Logic, it's like, nah, sorry, it'll crash. So it's been really frustrating.
I mean, it's great. It's great, these live streams. I mean, you say that you haven't got the equipment, but when you're performing these live streams with your guitar, and your voice is just so, it belts through. It is just so loud. It is so awesome. I'm looking forward to actually seeing what is created when it does ever get created.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I've been desperate for so long to get a band behind me, because it's I enjoy gigging. It's just me and my guitar, but I know that I'd be like stomping around the stage, having fun, and be able to put the guitar down and really just sing. Obviously, when I was in a band, I could do that, so I know what it feels like and how much I wanted it. So now I've got some tracks with full band sounds. I'll be able to, you know, get some musicians, be like, yeah, just play this. It's gonna be really cool, and I can't wait for people to hear it. Have you got
like a whole band set up ready for when it does actually all kick off again and people are recording and you start gigging? Have you got like a band there ready to go with you?
Well, this isn't. I'd started to. I've got a couple of people that are on board, but we've never rehearsed. So, I mean, hopefully they're still on board. I should probably check in with that and make sure they've not changed their mind over the last month.
What you should do is have like a Zoom session, like a jamming session with them, and then see if they're still happy with it.
Well, yeah, I could try that actually. I don't know about lag, but we'll do like a bit at a time. So, do you know what you're playing? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can always. I mean, we could always wing it. Everything's, especially because it's such a uncertain time at the moment. We have to like wing everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I might give that a go though. Actually,
it's worth a shot.
Trying, yeah. Just me.
It won't hurt anybody. That's the main thing. No. So, where did you actually want to start recording the EP? You know, is there anything actually laid down yet, or is it literally?
Yeah, pretty much everything in terms of musicians and vocals to a point. It's all down. There are a few things that I would quite like to change if I can, just to change the feel and sounds. But yeah, it's pretty much there, really.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy reading like Twitter. Everybody is screaming about you. You've got such a fan base behind you already, and you're barely even scratching the surface yet. Wait till you're a year down the line and you're performing at C2C and Long Road and everything. It's gonna be great.
That would be a dream to perform at C2C and Long Road. That would be an absolute dream. I have to say everybody's been really patient though, because I've been gigging quite a while. More so only in the country scene for the past, it's probably the start of last year.
Yeah.
I found myself in a sound that I was like, this is me. I know where I'm going with this now. But for years it's been, have you got something recorded? I'd be like, no. Have you got something out? Where can I find your music? It's like, I haven't got anything. And it's been such a downfall. And yeah, but I think to finally have something and to be able to, for my fans to be able to have it as well and listen to it, I hope they like it. That's the next big thing.
Oh, well, especially because I mentioned these live streams, you read the comments that come through, especially even after the fact, you read them actually because it's like in real time. And everybody's like, whoa, go you, Harriet, go H.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think everyone's ready for it. It's just obviously timing's just been so naff.
Yeah, 100% naff. Yeah. It did at the start of this year. I bought a diary. I've never had a diary. I was like, this year's gonna be my year. I've got everything set out. I'd had a really, really busy year just gigging last year. I was like, I need to reach people. I need to get out of this little bubble of Sheffield, and because it's got such a fantastic music scene, but you kind of just get stuck here. So I was like, right, I went up to Scotland, Newcastle, down to London, Dublin, as far as I could get without. I didn't do Europe, unfortunately. But this year I was like, right, so now is the year I'm going to knuckle down. I'm going to record. I'm going to get everything out. I'm going to tour. I'm going to get a band. And then look what happened. It's like, it's my luck, really. This is my luck. 100% summed up. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I mean, there's like a meme going over, I think it's Facebook, and it's like if 2020 was a chord, and it's like the fingers all like
all twisted. Yeah.
That is this year.
Yeah.
Well, at least the main thing is it's allowed us all to take a step back and prepare for the future. Look at the longer picture.
No, definitely. It's kind of been nice a little bit, and I've said this in a few different interviews and whatnot. I run at 100 miles an hour all the time, and it is how I cope with life. I've struggled really, really bad with health anxiety and things like that. And if I'm not busy, then it just completely consumes me. So I'd have to have gigs, and I was working up until a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm unemployed. But it's kind of done the opposite. When it first kicked in, it's like, I'm going to have to isolate. It was horrifying. But as it's gone on a little bit, it's actually been quite nice to go, okay, well, I've got time to do things I've never had time to do.
Yeah.
Okay, like, how is this going to work? When I look at, I don't know, I'm quite positive. I'm like, when it's, November, December and everything's fine, I'll be gigging again. Just putting stuff in place that I've never had time to sit down and look at.
Yeah.
It has been quite nice to just not worry as much for a while, I guess. That's
the thing that I've found really strange is because I work as an engineer. That's my main trade. This is what I do, on the side to help other artists. And it's been so weird for me because I always get up at like 4 a.m. I'm always at work for like 6 a.m. I'm always home at like 5 p.m. You so used to being in a routine, a set life. And now it's like a new normal. You wake up in the morning, you go downstairs, you say hi to everybody, you have a cup of tea or coffee, and you just go with your day. And it just seems so much more easy. Not easy, but
no, I know what you mean.
Life.
Yeah.
Like
I hope when it goes back to normal, we can take something out of it a little bit. I don't know what it'll be, but yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, like you, I can run at 100 mile an hour, whether it's mentally or physically or emotionally, and it's nice to slow down, whether it's 50 mile an hour or 10 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the one thing that we can take forward and then still progress.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So there we go. Philosophy on a podcast.
Yeah, life lessons 101.
Now, one of the life lessons, there's a big debate going on at the moment. I normally ask this at the end of the podcasts. Now, Linda likes to call them a Jaffa nugget, Linda Conway.
Oh, Linda. Oh, I love Linda. Yeah.
Now, what to you is a Jaffa cake? A cake or a biscuit?
I would say a biscuit.
Biscuit?
Yeah. And I don't know if that's because I just feel guilty eating a full packet of cakes. Maybe. It's not as bad if it's biscuits. No.
I love that little maybe.
It's so funny. I was at the studio and they brought some biscuits in, brought Jaffa cakes in, and I just demolished the whole 2 packets. Once I open it, I can't stop.
Yeah.
So it's like flowing calories, it's fine. But I still ate the whole packet. And that was only a couple of days ago. No, I'd say biscuit.
Biscuit. See, I always say cake because it's a sponge. Now, some other people have mentioned biscuit because of its dunkability. You can dunk a Jaffa cake into a cup of tea or coffee, whereas you can't dunk a bit of Victoria Slice in a drink.
Oh no.
I know.
Victoria sponge drink.
Do you dunk biscuits?
I don't actually drink tea or coffee.
You don't drink tea? Oh no, what's going on?
I drink hot chocolate, but that's about it for hot drinks.
Ooh, hot chocolate. There's a what is it? There's a video I was watching on Facebook. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, and it was showing me how to make different types of hot chocolate. And one's like the cheap, like instant powder. Just chuck it in a bit of milk, and the quick and easy way that you get at like normal Costas or wherever. And then he was showing me like double cream, and then getting like actual whole bits of chocolate, and then melting it in a pan, and then stirring it, and then sieving it. And
effort, isn't it?
A lot of effort, but oh my god, it looked thick and divine, and I want a hot chocolate. So yeah, welcome to a music podcast, and we'll talk about Jaffa cakes, not chocolate.
Nothing better.
I mean, it's life. It's what we go through. These critical questions. Next critical question, though, I need to ask you is pineapple on pizza. This one's a Rachel Selleck favourite.
Yes, 100%. My favourite pizza.
Good girl. Love it.
That is my favourite pizza.
I love it. See, a lot of people say it shouldn't be on there, but I think it should.
I've never tried it. I think it's fruit on pizza. I'm not having that. But I think we've just never tried it. Because if you tried it, it's nice.
Exactly. It's like having peanut butter and chocolate, salty sweet. It goes.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it happens, yeah. Just try it.
Is there anything you wouldn't eat?
I don't like mushrooms.
Mushrooms? I can see that. I mean, I can take them or leave them.
Probably just mushrooms. I don't know, I would say, and fish. Yeah,
fish.
Not much of a fish eater, really.
All kinds of fish?
Yeah.
Even from Chippy?
I've got to sound like a right weirdo. If I'm craving it, and I go, fish and chips, I'll have fish and chips.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's just seafood and fish on a bit like that.
Yeah.
I think it's more the thought and the fishiness.
Fair enough. What makes a Sunday dinner for you then?
Oh no, you see, I don't really like Sunday dinners. It's not that I don't like them. I think they're just a bit boring.
You see, almost every household, and especially Yorkshire, we have, they have Sunday dinners every Sunday religiously. Now, I had that as a kid growing up, and then you do kind of get not bored of it, but it becomes the same thing. You become expected to it, and then when Christmas comes around, it's not the same.
Well, yeah, Christmas dinner's just like a Sunday dinner, isn't it, with a bit of trimmings?
Exactly. Is there any trimmings you wouldn't have on like a Christmas dinner? Brussels sprouts or all like that?
No, not really. I mean, I have about 10 pigs in blankets.
Oh, definitely.
I've got to have pigs in blankets. But, yeah.
The great thing with like Tesco and Morrison's and all that is, especially if you're looking like the party section in the freezer, it's just
the party food's the best food.
Best bit going.
Yeah, agree. Party food.
What is going on? We'll carry on with this little bit of a subject for a little bit longer. What is your favourite, say, like death row meal? What is your like ultimate favourite meal? 3 course.
Oh, that is tough. That. Oh no, I feel like I'm going to regret whatever I say because I'll think of something really good afterwards.
It's always the case.
Okay. For me, oh gosh, no.
We'll work backwards. Dessert. What's your favourite
dessert? I love chocolate covered strawberries or banoffee pie.
Oh, banoffee pie.
I'll go banoffee pie. Good banoffee pie.
Okay, we'll go starter. We'll leave the main till last.
Starter, probably some like banging chicken wings.
Oh yeah, I get
like,
that.
Because when you have really, really good chicken wings, you're like...
They were good, and you can never get the same again. You try and do them at home, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, no. Maybe? Why am I saying chicken wings? Yeah, I'll go chicken wings. Yeah. And then, main... when I was in Miami once, I went to this restaurant called Hole in the Wall, and they did a Taco Tuesday. And to this day, they are still the best tacos. It was like a pulled pork. I love pulled pork. I was going to say something pulled pork, maybe like a pulled pork sub or something like that. But I think, yeah, some pulled pork tacos, only from that restaurant though.
Yeah. You see, I've been looking, especially on like people's Instagram pages, and I come across one in Filey. I didn't even realise that you did a gig there at one point. Tommy's. And looking at their menu is just so like divine. It's like, yep, I could have that, I could have that, I could have that.
It looks insane. And when I did the gig, they put some food on.
Yeah.
And even that was just like so nice. But no, I'm definitely gonna have to go and try their menu. What's
it like playing a gig at like a restaurant type thing? Is it different to playing like a stage or like a pub kind of place?
Sometimes it's a bit weird when it's a restaurant. But I mean, when I did that one at Tommy's, the night was just for music.
Yeah.
And everybody that was in was just there, like they appreciate country music. So that was a really, really nice and fun gig. And he's got all the setup. But some restaurants it can be a bit different.
Yeah.
Not like our music, I think.
What's it? If you had to choose like your favourite venue that you've played so far, then. Whether it's in the country scene or whether it's outside the country scene, what's the most fun you've had playing?
Oh, okay. My favourite venue, I would have to say, is the Whole Earth Picture Dome, because the sound there is wonderful.
Yeah.
But the most fun I've had playing, I did one this year in Dublin, supporting Louis Berry. And the crowd were just mental. I was like in fact it was Trouble. I was singing Trouble at the end, and these guys were just doing an Irish jig, and like he had this scarf and he was going like this, and I was like, oh my god, what? I've never had anything like that. So that was really fun. I was just like laughing while I was singing.
You see, it's one place I've never been yet is Ireland, and that's like one of the big entices for me is to go in like a proper traditional Irish bar and seeing everybody just letting loose.
Yeah, we went in the famous one's a Temple Bar, I think, and we went in there after the gig, and there was just music, like proper Irish music, and everyone just dancing and having fun. I would definitely go.
Do you go on holidays much then?
No. I've got a bit of an issue. I used to, but then I had a really bad flight once, and now
go on, name drop the airline.
I think it was Delta. It was a Delta flight from Miami to Mexico. And it wasn't even the flight, though. It was just, because I'm a bit nervous with my health anxiety, it's like any situation where I can't just get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So even like the underground, things like that, it's like, oh, if anything goes wrong, I can't just walk away. So I was very nervous, and we hit an air pocket, so the plane just dropped a little bit. But sounds really stupid, in those 15 seconds, I 100% thought, this is it. My time has come. I'm going to die. I was right. I'm going to die on this plane. Everyone told me I was wrong, and the plane's gone. And obviously I was fine. Like, it's however many years later. But because I've like sat with it, my fear of flying's got even worse.
Oh.
So it's something I'm going to have to just face, and maybe take a few whiskies and diazepams or something. I don't know.
Don't quote me on this, but I'm sure, because I used to work almost like part-time as a home worker in the travel industry, and I'm sure there's almost like a course that you can go on where they try and get you over that anxiety.
There is. I've looked at some. I mean, they're not too expensive. They're a bit expensive, but to get anywhere, worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the thing with me is, if I was in a room with nervous people going, oh, I don't know about this flight, oh, it could go wrong, I'd be like, no, I can't. Like, and I'd probably need to be surrounded by people that just don't care.
Yeah.
And kind of like, why are you so scared? Stop being an idiot. But if there was someone else that's hyperventilating, I'd be like, get me off. I'm sorry.
Sat in the back hugging each other.
Yeah, like, we're both gonna die together.
One thing that always annoys me is though when the plane's landed and people have to clap.
Yeah, what is that?
I have no idea. It just really frustrates me. It's like, I've
never got that really. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's not frustrating, but it's just like, why?
Well, you've landed it. You've done your job.
I don't clap every time I park my car up on drive. Made it home.
Parallel park. Oh, look at that.
Gee, to be honest, if I had to parallel park, I'd still clap myself because I can't do it for toffee.
Yeah. No. It's when people are watching as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's the worst.
Landing it, it's like, oh no.
And then you get to a point where you're parallel parking, and it's like, yep, I know I need to move it forward now. I've messed this up. And people are watching. It's like, oh my Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you just doubt yourself.
So yeah, we've discussed almost every single topic going in world at the moment. So you mentioned a second ago Trouble. I love Trouble. Trouble is such an awesome song because it's almost got like a bluesy vibe to it. A very sass. Almost all your songs are very like sass orientated. Such a good word, that.
Yeah. That song, I wrote that. What did I watch? It was CMA Fest. Not last year, the year before. And I saw Garth Brooks for the very first time, and I'd never really heard of him, never really clocked his music. And I watched him perform, and I was like, Jesus Christ, he is insane. Like, who is this guy? I've never seen this guy. Look at him, he's just living every minute. And then I listened to it, and then Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder Road.
Yeah, and I was listening to that, and I was like, this song is just a full story. So it kind of intertwined with things that were going on in my life at that moment, and it was a bit of overlap, and I thought, wow, if I could pay homage to Garth's storytelling, but then kind of with my own song,
then
that's where that kind of came from. And then obviously the real life events that inspired it.
See, hopefully that's one of the songs that does get produced in the future, whether it's in a year's time or whenever. And I'd love to one day hear that, actually laid down on a track with the whole band behind it, and then go into like a quiet moment where it's just the guitar lick with that bluesy vibe. And I've got so many things going in my head every time I listen to the song. It's great. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you kind of just, yeah. I'm not going to say too much, but... Okay. I'll move on to another song then. Imagine Paradise, where did that all come from?
Imagine Paradise, that is probably one of the oldest songs I carry through, really. I mean, a lot of the early ones are just a bit, you listen back to them and go,
I mentioned YouTube earlier.
Well, thanks, yeah. But that one, yeah, I wrote that, I think 6 years ago now, and that was just, I wrote that about my mum. So I lost my mum when I was younger. I was 10 to cancer.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what was going on at the time, and was never really told. Maybe I was told, oh, she's got cancer, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't really know what that is. And then one night I just was a bit fed up, really, and I sat and locked myself in the bedroom, had a bit of a cry.
Yeah.
That in Imagine Paradise came. I don't really know. It was just one of those songs that you didn't really have to think about. It was just how I was feeling.
When you penned that song, then was it like you sit down and you're obviously upset? Do you just pick up the pen and paper and just open up? You just
100%, yeah. It was just everything. I picked up the guitar, started picking, and then it just came out. Yeah.
I reckon that a lot of that will contribute towards like the anxiety as well. Particularly.
I mean, there is that. We all kicked off from that because it was at 10 years old. I witnessed everything was fine, and then it was just over the period of a year where I obviously didn't have an idea, and then unfortunately she died, and then about a year later I started having panic attacks and thinking I was going to die, and it's just I've never really fixed it. Really, never got over it.
Yeah, it's such a difficult topic to talk about. Not just death and the big C, but the whole, the other side of it as well. How it affects everybody else around. It's such a big topic.
It is. I'm completely open with all my mental health issues. If anybody ever wants to talk to me, I will. I'm not bothered, because for a long time I thought it was weird and I was weird. And even if people have never really experienced anxiety, I don't think they quite understand how out of control sometimes you can be with what is going on, what you're thinking, and regardless of how much you tell yourself things, your brain's in control and you're not in control.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be talked about more with grief or depression, everything that it embodies and everything that can come with it, and how normal it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. I lost my grandparents at not a young age, but a time of my life where I was going out into the world by myself, and they were always almost like a rock, and you're upset physically. And the one thing that always used to upset me was when people were confused as to why I was so upset, because it was my grandparents. And then it's almost like a snap out of it, and it's like the worst phrase you can tell somebody, especially with depression, is to snap out of it. Mm-hmm. So depression and anxiety and everything it's not a taboo topic. It's something we can all talk about. We've all suffered, whether it's minor or major, or you don't have to be suicidal to suffer with depression.
I know, yeah.
It's, my Twitter DMs are always open. If anybody's feeling that way, I've experienced it. There's a million people out there who's experienced it as well. So you're not on your own. It's anybody can talk. Talk.
100%. My DMs are open too.
Talking is the best. It's one thing I do love to do.
Yeah, well, yeah. Especially when you think you're alone as well, and no one understands, to find somebody that kind of goes, actually, no, I get you. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is that it's sometimes just your own head, just like eating itself up, thinking you're on your own here. What? No one's going through this with you. This is just you. This is, nobody understands the pain that you're going through. But yeah, I get you. I totally get you. I just want to come give you a hug now.
We'll do a virtual one.
So, to go on from this topic then, you've got your EP coming out in the next few months. We've briefly talked about it because we can't go into too much detail. Is there we've mentioned like people have asked you for songs and where they can find your music. Is there anything you're doing before the EP or coming up towards the EP to promote it, like singles or anything?
Well, and I guess you can keep this in. I have got some. I've definitely got a single coming out in quite the near future, actually. Just so there's stuff coming out into the world. And since recording the EP, I've got some new material which I really was really pleased with and proud of, and I wanted to get it out. So, yeah, there will be something about the EP.
Exciting. Is there? You say in the very near future? Are we talking? I know I'm pushing my boundaries. You can tell me to shut the hell up if you want. But are we talking like the next month, 2 month, week?
Ooh, okay, not the next week. I roll that one out. Okay. Next month.
Okay.
Ish. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go from next. We'll put a range on it then, between a month and 10 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you can narrow. Yeah.
You thought I was going to narrow it down like a month and 3 weeks.
We'll go from the 11th of June to the yeah. I thought you were like proper days.
Are we talking June 18th, June 24th?
Yeah, next month.
Oh, I'm excited for that. Some artists, when they release like singles, they do it like a rolling, like every other month. You know, is that something you're gonna like think of, like every other week, every other month?
Well, I've got a plan in place. Again, not saying too much, but there will be a few releases, kind of in a bit of a sequence. A bit different, some of them, so they won't just be singles. But it's all mapped out before the EP comes.
Do you have like a date when you're going to announce this, you know, to the world that, you know, in X amount of time this is now coming?
I don't at the minute because I've been racking my brains with distributors, so I haven't got a set date because I want to make sure everything's perfectly set. I've got ideas in mind, like targets I'd like to hit.
Yeah.
But until everything's kind of knuckled down, then I don't want to put a date on it and then it not be there.
No, it's fine. It's totally understandable, especially this period of time. I keep talking about it and I hate talking about it, but I'll still talk about it. The coronavirus and it just ruins everything.
Yes.
To go on from that then, you're in discussions with distributors. Do you have any form of like management behind you, or do you do it all yourself?
No, it's just me.
Oh wow.
Me, yeah.
Your logo then, you know, Harriet Rose. Who did that? Was that like a Fiverr job or?
No, so the logo. I've got a good friend, Dan Horturner, and it was last summer. I just said to him, I would love some pictures. We'll do some pictures together. And he does it. He's a gig photographer, and he has his own business. And we just went out and did some photos. And I said, look, I could do the logo. Could you help me? And he just came up with that. And I was like, that's sick. Thanks.
It's so swanky.
He just like nail on the head. It was lovely.
Has he been like helping you with like your merch and that, or has he just sent you the files and then you've done your own merch?
No, he just did the logo, just the file, and pretty much everything else. The website, socials, merch, just me.
Oh wow! I mean, I've got your website up now, and it's so smart. I mean, I can't wait till you actually start putting music on it. But everything about it's just so clean.
Oh, thank you.
Better than my website.
Actually, I think the music. If you looked at it last night, there was some old music videos on, but I've hidden them to be replaced.
I noticed that. That's the reason why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. So we've got the merch. I've just briefly mentioned the merch.
Mm-hmm.
I see everybody's tweeting about it. Everybody's buying it. And the one thing that I absolutely love, especially what you shared, I think it was a picture. Oh, God, when was it? It might have been a couple of months back. This T-shirt equals like 4 million downloads of this song that's been streamed, you know, because merchandise is, especially during the periods now, merchandise and physical CD sales, actually buying the song on iTunes rather than streaming it on Apple Music, for example, is a higher source of income for artists than it is if you was to stream it.
Yes.
I mean, it's been the biggest argument, you know, other than what is country and, you know, women in country. There's like 3 big arguments at the moment. And yeah, I love what you're doing on, especially Facebook. You're sharing these images that are just so true. I mean, I think it was Reading and Leeds Fest, an image of their poster that you shared. Now, it had like 30, 40, 50 male acts and like 3 female acts on it.
I'm angry about that, yeah.
It's disgusting. I just still can't get over it.
Oh, you're gonna set me off on it. You're gonna set me off. Yeah, I just feel like it's ignorant. Honestly, it is just ignorance. And the people that argue back, I've got so many arguments with strangers on Facebook. And there was one guy, and he was like, "Oh, women aren't out there, and even if they are, you should be happy because you're a novelty, and you're gonna get booked." And I was like, "Oh no, because in the case, like, I was, oh God, I can't."
Oh my!
But I will continue to educate. I will always push for equality. Like I won't push for women to be above men. Like that's not what I'm there for. But if it's going to be equal, it's going to be equal, and you're going to do what you can to make sure it's equal because they can be, right, 100%. And even oh gosh, what's Transmit, the director of Transmit? Oh, more females need to pick up guitars. It's like, why are you in charge of stuff like this when you're so uneducated? Like, you're obviously not on the ground knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you took the time to learn what's going on, you will see that there are so many fantastic female women on the ground trying to get the opportunities that you give to other people.
Exactly. I mean,
set me up on a right rant. Sorry.
No. Go on a rant. This is, you know, especially a lot of these program directors, you know, the ones that actually are physically involved with the running of music on, especially radio stations. You know, this is what they need to listen to. You know, this is the arguments that they need to hear, and this is what needs to change. Now, all you have to do is look at my podcast and see who I've interviewed, and the majority of it's been female.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows, you know, for me that started in January, February, you know, I've got these list of amazing female artists, and people still prefer to put men on. It's, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult argument, and there are a lot of like factors that need to be. Like, I'm not just going to push for it. Like, there's factors, and I think the country music scene in the UK is a little bit different to America, and I think it is more female led. Well, I could be wrong. I would love, you know, if someone has facts, like, please always educate me. And there are less males in the country music scene, but I do feel like they are given more of a chance to be involved in it. They're not forgotten about. Like, they are there and they are heard. Well, I hope they feel heard. I don't know. I'm talking for someone here. I should probably start. But I think it just depends on what genre you're in, I suppose, into how unbalanced things may seem and things like that.
Have you ever
If I'm representative, then yeah, representative and equal.
Have you ever found it difficult trying to book a gig because of being female?
Oh yeah, 100%. Before the start of last year, when I kind of focused more on the country Americana and things, I was doing a lot of indie gigs, and I wouldn't get booked because, you know, you're just a female with a guitar, it doesn't fit. Or I would get booked for lineups that just really didn't make sense. It's like, have you put any thought into this? So there'd be like a full-on thrash band, and then me in the middle, like, oh, hi, yeah, it's me. And then another, like, really heavy indie band. And it's, you know, I'm all for opportunities, but it was a fight that it was so hard to get stuff. But even it then became like the token female on loads of lineups. Like, oh, we've got a full lineup of men, and I've called out festivals, like really local festivals that have done it, and then there'd be like one female or two, like the token females, just for someone to look at in between, just to break it up a bit.
Yeah, to prove that the equality, the quotation mark.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. That's not fair. It's so upsetting. It's just so, you just want to hit your head on a wall. You think people would have changed.
Yeah. I just want to rant again. I mean, things are changing, but I just hope they change for the right reason. And I don't want. If you're judged on your talent and what you can offer, and it's equal, then fine. But I don't want it to be okay. Let's fill it with people that just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So I hope things are changing, but I just hope it changes, and it's right when it changes.
I mean,
it's for the better.
I've mentioned it on this show quite a lot. I listen to a lot of like the Country Hits UK, radio show. I listen to Chris Country. I listen to, all the internet stations, and they all say the same thing. They all diversify their music playlists. And the one show that I listen to in America is the Bobby Bones show, and they talk. Bobby's got a mantra that he wants things to happen. I'm going to get this wording completely wrong, but he wants it to be an evolution and not a revolution, because a revolution always fizzles out. An evolution is there to stay.
I like that. Yeah.
So say, you've got 100 artists and 10 of them are female. As long as there's a increase, whether it's month on month, year on year, as long as it's increasing and it stays up there, so next year it's 30 females, and then the year after that it's 50 females, and then the year after that it's about getting it to increase to a fair place and then stay at that fair place consistently. Not just for it to go, oh yeah, women have got to play in, we've got to play a lot more women, let's play them for a month, and then next month we'll touch it back, and it's something that needs to stick, and that's the difficult thing.
Yeah, I think it's just making sure that we don't shut up and we don't let it be.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's a great thing with like the Song Suffragettes.
Yeah.
Love what what they're doing. They've used like Taylor Swift's "The Man." I mean, even just Taylor Swift's video. I mean, I love that.
That was such. And then at the end, I was watching thinking, that guy looks a bit weird. He does look a bit weird. And then at the end, when he realised it's hair, I was like, what? No. Yeah.
Did you watch the like behind the scenes making of that?
I haven't watched it all. I've seen snippets and like when her dad's in it and stuff like that.
It's on YouTube, and yeah, you need to watch it. It's so bizarre seeing Taylor basically going to directors and saying, all right, so I've got to walk like this. I've got to hold my junk like this. It's strange. Yeah, I didn't ever think I'd see Taylor Swift doing that. As pretty as she is, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, she did. She was a good man. She was a very good man.
You should try it. Just for giggles, go on stage, dress as a man. See how well you get through the actual gig.
I could, yeah.
And then halfway through the gig, like strip off, back into like female clothing and be like, yeah. Suck on
See
that.
who gets best reception.
Suck on that, transmit.
Oh yeah, you could apply. Oh yeah, you could apply with something like with the same music, but then obviously just apply as a male, apply as a female, and see. That would be actually a really good thing for someone to do. Be
interesting to see the actual, who actually gets through and who doesn't.
Yeah. Ooh, that's actually like, okay.
There we go.
I don't know if I'll do it because if someone will do that.
I'll try and do it. I mean, I don't have any music released whatsoever. I don't have a YouTube. I can't sing for toffee, but I'll try it. I'll see if I can get on.
Do like proper research, can release it. expose them all.
An expose. All right, so going on from all that, I want to go into your education.
Okay.
Education-wise, you've not done anything really directly in music, for uni. It was journalism, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Like,
But, yeah.
where did that come from?
Well, okay, I'm going to be careful here, not to offend my dad. Listen, a lot of my education, my dad was always focused on having a solid education, because from day one for me it's been performing music, this is where I want to be, and he's always kind of kept me grounded, or tried to keep me grounded with, you need a plan B, you need your A-levels, you need employable A-levels, you need to go and get a degree. And I knew somebody at the time that had done a journalism degree, and it kind of sounded fun, and I thought, well, it's still TV, I could do music journalism and still be involved in that, so I'll wing it, I'll just pick something, and she's doing it, so maybe she can help me do it. I hated it, honestly. It was 3 years of dragging myself through a degree, and maybe when I'm older I'll look back and be like, my dad was right, but I'm not there yet. No.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, we all do things and you think, why on earth did I sign up to that? Why on earth? Like, which uni did you go to?
I went to Chef Hallam.
Chef Hallam? Oh, it's not a bad uni, that, though, is it? As a university goes, it's kind of up there on the, I don't know what the spectrum, is it UCAS spectrum, levels, grades?
Yeah, something like that. The uni itself, the facilities and what it offers, it was all right. The course, yeah.
Well, what was the other people in the course like? Were they fun?
Yeah. Yeah, now I got some good friends out of uni. I did. But yeah, I don't know if I could do it again. Would I? Probably not.
If you had to go to uni and choose a course that suits you to a T, what course would that be?
Something music related.
Songwriting.
Music. I've looked at the British Institute of Modern Music thing, and music production, or even more of the engineering side. So I had a clue what I was doing when it came to recording, and then I could sit at home and be like, okay, I've done this, I've just mixed this, what do you think? I think that would have been a lot better, and then I would have been in circles with people that had the same interest and had musical ability as well, which probably would have been pretty cool.
Well, that's it. That's one thing, especially in this industry. It's not so much, well, yeah, it's what you know, but it's who you know as well. It comes with it.
Yeah, definitely. Meeting the right people at the right time and connections.
Is there any people that stand out in your recent past that have helped guide you in a direction, or?
There are lots of. I've always thought about if I ever made it big and I had a nice bit of money, what I would do with it. And there are certain individuals that I have to give credit to for putting me where I am, and the skills I've got and the opportunities I've had. I don't know, recently, is there any? I would always want to thank my guitar teacher, because I was a little shit. I knew better than him. It was like, oh, you need to play it with these fingers. It's like, no, this is better, so I'm going to play it how I want. And he put it with me for years. So I'd always want to thank Andy Starks. And he kind of, you've probably seen it if you've gone through my YouTube catalogue or watching The Hole in My Heart, the first thing I ever did. And the first song, I turned up and I said, oh, I wrote a song. And he was like, you've wrote a song? Cool, let's hear it. And I played it. He went, we're going to put it on YouTube. You need to be someone. And he always pushed me, and it was like, you're in a band, you're going to gig. And there was one gig and I forgot the words to Hotel California, and it still haunts me to this day. And it sent me this message about just believing in yourself, and every mistake, every gig is always a lesson, and just deal with it. And, it's okay, I've had that experience, so now if I forget the words again, is what it is. And he, always him. And then there's probably a few more I can't think of on the spot. It's a good question.
Obviously, other than the typical relationship and your father and other than that, it's like your guitar teacher and I can see it.
I probably should have said my dad actually. Yeah, no, that's that's terrible. Yeah, no, my dad's always pushed me. I was thinking more connections and skills, but always my dad and my family.
Your boyfriend takes you to a lot of gigs, didn't he?
He sent my post. God, he puts up with a lot. I did a tour in November, and he drove everywhere, here, there, and everywhere. And there was one day I did the Moth Club in London, supporting the Berry again, and we were working, and then we set off about 2:00, and he drove down, and we did the gig, and then we drove back, and he drove. Wait, I'm saying wait, I didn't drive. He drove back at like 3 a.m, and then he went to work the next day. And he does the merch stand. He did all my photos. I did some like little videos of all the different tour dates on my Instagram, just behind the scenes, and he did it all. Bless him. He gets dragged, and he does all my accounting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he keeps me. We've been doing all the merch, and I put all the shipping on wrong, so I went and I charged £4 shipping, and she was like, "Is this £12?" I was like, "No, it's not, because I charged them £4, so you need to make this £4." And he was like, "What are you doing?" So last night he was like weighing everything, or like the t-shirt weighs this weighs this, and keeping it in check. So it helps me out a lot.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, I should probably thank him a bit more than I do.
You have to get him on one of your live streams, just standing there in the background with a camera.
He would die. He would 100% die.
Is he shy?
Incredibly shy, yeah. He prefers being in the background.
Are you living with him now there, or are you with your dad?
No, so I live on my own, but yeah, he's here with me. Yeah.
Oh, bless. See, it's things like, it's people like that, whether it's a boyfriend, whether it's a dad, it's people that are there supporting you through thick and thin, and always, they're there, you can rely on them.
Oh yeah, they're invaluable, absolutely invaluable. And there's been so many times where I've just been like, just fed up, absolutely fed up. And my dad and Sean, they just pick me up, and it's like, "What are you doing? You nutter, like, keep going. Look at what you're doing, look at where you are, just keep going. It's fine. It's just part of it." So.
Awesome. Oh, bless. That's great. That's great to hear. if you obviously, everybody listening now won't be able to see, but Harriet's got a bit of a blush going on.
Oh no! Stop!
Oh, bless. It's great to see that, there's somebody, like I've said, there's somebody there that you can rely on, and that's the main thing. That's what makes life so much easier, knowing that you can split the weight. If you have a glass of water and you hold it out, and it's that typical analogy. It's easy if you share that glass.
Yeah.
Share the weight. All right, so we've covered pretty much everything. Is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
What always happens is I'll ask that question, we'll always say no, then I'll go into the end of the podcast, and then just as I click submit, putting the podcast live for everybody to listen to, there's always that moment where I go, "Oh, damn, I should have asked this question. I should have asked this one." So I've got a little notebook in my drawer where I write the artist name, and it's like a question that I forgot to ask. So I've got like a little notebook now ready for the next interview, next time I talk.
No, yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm always a klutz like that. I always forget everything.
Yeah. It's hard on the spot though, isn't it?
Is there anything that you forget when you're on stage? I know you mentioned the Hotel California lyrics. Is there anything else you forgot, like your own songs or chord structures?
The worst thing I do, and I did it on a live stream, and it's infuriating, is I put stuff on the wrong capo. Like, so many times, and I know him. I know it off by heart, and I'll put it on. I'll start singing, and then I'll be like 5 bars in, and I think, oh, I can't stop now. But I'll know as soon as I start. I did it on it was the SW20 country live stream, and it was Trouble Again, and I put it on the wrong capo. And I think my face, when I watched it back, you could see my face drop, and I'm just like, you idiot. It don't sound the same. It don't sound the same. It don't sound as good. You can't sing it as good. What are you doing? But yeah, I do that quite a lot.
See, it's funny you say that, because I've watched that video quite a lot, and you can't see. I mean, you see your face drop, but it just still sounds, because the way you project your voice, it still sounds like it should, because you can, obviously when anybody who doesn't play a guitar, the capo is the thing that you put on your strings to change the bar, so you can put it like the second fret, the third fret, etc. Yeah. And it just basically, whenever you put it higher down the scale, you've just got to sing in a higher key, basically. And yeah, you couldn't really tell. I mean, I'm not musically trained in the ear, so I just sing along anyhow.
Unless you I think if you knew the song really, really, really knew the song and you listened to it over and over again, then you could have a side-by-side comparison. I don't think maybe you would notice. I don't know. I don't think anybody would really notice. I did.
One thing I noticed though when you do your song set list, I think it is, that you send out with your merch, you actually write the capo number next to some of the songs.
But yeah, that I did. Yeah. I don't normally have a set list at gigs. I'll normally have my phone, I throw it on the floor. But I thought, because I played 2 new songs on that one, the first ever play, and I think they might be quite important songs, now that I'm dropping any hints there. But so I thought I'd write the capo on them too, because I get nervous when I'm playing a new song live, because I just think, I don't know, it's not set. You haven't done the first reveal, so I needed to got the capo right, otherwise I'd be singing it wrong and things like that.
Well, if anybody missed that, that's a big hint to buy merch for, future reasons. Buy the merch, go on the website, harrietrosegrant.co.uk, buy the merch.
I've just I've just changed the domain name, so it's harrietrosemusic.co.uk.
Harriet Rose. Everybody listen to that, harrietrosemusic.co.uk. Go to the shop and buy merch.
Thank you. I appreciate that plug.
Just got to keep plugging it. That's what we're here for, is to plug your music. Plug you, really. Plug you in the wall. Last thing I want to talk about is songwriting. As a singer-songwriter, you'll have your own rituals, the way you go about things, the way you write a song. Some people have melodies, etc. How do you wake up in the morning, write a song? What's the whole process for you?
Sometimes it does vary a little bit. More often than not, I will just be feeling something, or I'll have just gone through something, experienced something, just at a moment in time, and I think, I just need to write about this. And I'll pick up the guitar and I'll lock myself either in this room that no one can see, in my bedroom, and then just write. And I normally start with some lyric ideas and then just pick away. Sometimes it's a bit different. Sometimes I'll be driving and then I'll start singing a song. This I need to write this down. And I've got thousands of voice memos, and then I'll try and fit the guitar to what I've made up. But a lot of the times it just kind of like word from it. I don't know. I just pick up the guitar and play song.
What's your favourite way of writing a song down then? Is it doing it through voice memos, or is it actually with a pen and paper?
Bit of both. Voice memos are really convenient because sometimes you'll say a lyric and be like, oh, that was a good lyric, I like that. But then if you don't keep it, I'll just forget it and I'll change it and it'll not be what it was. And I've got a songbook. Is it in here? I've got a songbook and it's random. I used to just write everything all the time. But then it was just being quick enough to write, and it kind of stops you in your track a little bit if you just kind of flowing. You'll be like, I'll have to write that down, pick it back up, write it down. Whereas voice memos, you can just leave them running for about 10 minutes.
Where's the strangest place you've actually sat either with a pen and paper or with your phone recording and you've thought of some lyrics. Where's the most randomest place you've done that?
Probably in the supermarket. Yeah, I had like this idea, and I was just like just picked the phone up and quietly sang it.
Quietly? You should have belted it out loud. You should have almost gone on the tannoy and put the phone next to the speaker.
Yeah, I could have been famous like Mason Ramsey for doing that, yodeling in the supermarket.
Exactly, that's where it all starts.
Instead of Walmart, it's Asda.
Can't beat an Asda. Oh, going on from there then. What is the quickest song you've wrote? You know, how quick is the quickest song where you've sat down, you've thought, okay, I need to write this song. You know, I've got this idea in my mind. And then a follow-up question from that would be, you know, have you had a song where it's just taking you days and days and days? Obviously, you can't tell us too much information if it's included in the new EP.
Yeah. The quickest two songs, about half an hour, Imagine Paradise and Small Talk. Small Talk just that came out. The longest one, only for guitar reasons, is probably Trouble, because it is two paces, and the start of it took me quite a bit, over a week or so, to try and find something that worked. And until I got the lick at the start, which ran into the I can't remember what it is. The start of it, when I dampen it, it didn't work as a song, and it sounded messy and all over. But yeah, that probably took the longest to try and be happy with it and play it live.
Like in Trouble, the dampening the strings and the whole, that, like I mentioned, bluesy riff to it. Yeah. Is that the kind of things you'd learn in like your guitar lessons?
Not really.
No, you've done yourself then.
Yeah, it's just through playing. And when I first started guitar, Andy said to me, "Do you want to learn to play guitar, or do you just want to play guitar?" And at the time I said, "I just want to play. Like, I want to be able to play Taylor Swift songs. I just want to play chords." And it was every day, every time I'd go in, it'd be like, "I've got another song I want to learn. So can I learn this song by this person? Can I learn this Paramore song? Can I learn this?" And so I learned my technique and skill via the songs I wanted to sing. So it was a really, really fun way to learn.
Yeah.
And then I decided back in 2015, before I went off to uni, to do my grade 8. I thought that I'll get it over and done with, which is all the theory stuff, all the stuff that matters. When I went off to America instead, so I didn't sit the exam. Really, so that was a bit of a waste. But yeah.
No, never a waste. Never.
It was a little bit, because I just forgot it all. So now when people when I've got the capo on, and they're like, "Oh, what's that? What key is that in?" Just so I know, because we're going to record. I don't know.
It's just a capo. It's just fifth.
It's in shape. Let me count. I'll count 4. Okay, there we go. Whereas really, it should be ingrained in my mind. But
I can't remember anything like that. I can just barely remember the strings.
That's what I need. You just want to play something.
All right, last thing I want to mention now is completely away from music. It's as far away from music as you can physically get, and it's to do with like the city area you live in. And obviously people can't see what I'm wearing right now, but it's a Leeds United football top because I support Leeds United. As a Yorkshire lass, who is it that you support?
I'm a Sheffield United fan.
Sheffield United. One question I want to ask, and it's been sitting with me for the past hour now. We've been talking. Why Sheffield United and not Sheffield Wednesday? No.
Well,
why?
Just common sense, really.
Love it.
There's nothing more to say on that.
Is it a family thing? You know, is it passed down through family?
Well, my family's split between Barnsley, Sheffield United, and Sheffield Wednesday. But my dad was Sheffield United. So
Oh, fair enough. At least you didn't go Barnsley end.
Yeah, could have been worse. It could have been bad.
If you had to choose then...
This. Oh, God.
If you had to choose between Leeds United or Barnsley, who would it be?
Barnsley. Sorry.
Why? Why?
Sorry. Come on. You knew that was the answer. You can't. It's Leeds. Dirty Leeds.
Everybody loves to hate Leeds. Love it.
It's just the thing, isn't it? It is. It's like Wednesday and Leeds in Yorkshire. But I think, probably like...
Go on then. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday is one of United's worst, like biggest rivalries, obviously, because it's the same city rivalry. Who would you rather play against, and who would you rather support if you didn't support Sheffield United? Would it be Sheffield Wednesday or would it be Leeds?
That is like, what a horrendous question. God, I don't even want to answer that. There's like
I'd rather not support football at all.
Yeah. Oh God. I could never say Wednesday. I could never support Wednesday.
Well,
no.
we're
There was the whole thing when we were battling, and it was like, you should be proud that a team from Sheffield could go up. Why would you want the other one to fail? And it was the same with Barnsley, and it was like, it's a local team. It's like, no, like it's the whole point of football and rivalries. Your team is your soul, it's who you love. To say when you are, but yeah, it's like, no, sorry.
No, I get that. You still haven't answered the question.
Yeah, no. I know, it should probably, oh God, like Leeds.
There we go, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, that... I mean, I've got friends who support Sheffield Wednesday, and because I used to live on the outskirts of Barnsley in a place called Birchworth, and a lot of my friends are Barnsleyites and Sheffieldites, and my family's always like grown up. My family's a strange one because my mum, she supports Aston Villa because that's where I'm actually originally from. Birmingham. I'm from West Bromwich.
Oh, okay.
I moved up to Leeds when I was 5, so. But that's the reason why I support Leeds, because it was that kind of era when I was getting into football, and I lived in Leeds at the time, and it was like, I support Leeds, and then Leeds was in the what was the first division when I was born, and then it went into the Premiership, and then we then got relegated in 2004, and then who knows, we might be in the Premiership.
Yeah.
See, that just makes you so sad. I love it. I bet there's so many people listening to this now from like Sheffield who support Sheffield United. I know you got some fans on Twitter that do support Sheffield United, and they're probably just listen to this thing now, and that's it now for forever and ever. They're never going to listen to me again because I support Leeds.
Well, they're probably going to hate me too because you made me say I'd support Leeds.
No, nobody can hate you. You've got such a cracking voice, and this year and next year and the future coming up is going to be so exciting for you. I can't wait to see how much you blossom.
Thank you. I do hope that, and it'll be a fun journey. I think
Awesome.
if it all goes to plan and all goes well, we'll see.
That's the main thing. Is we've all got like a plan in mind, of how we want it to go and how we expect it to go, and if it follows at least some part of that curve, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And the one thing that matters is you're making something you love.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And enjoy it along the way.
All right. So, Harriet H, where can we find you on the socials?
So all my socials are just Harriet Rose or Harriet Rose Music. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and then I've got my website as well, which is harrietrosemusic.com.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute... It's been fun talking to you.
It's been good. Talking about all sorts.
I'm glad I got the leads out you at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't wait to actually see you gigging live and not just on live streams.
Yeah, real life gig. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
It
And
can't.
I've met so many new people as well through this, which is really bizarre. People that I might not have come across just gigging normally, but I can't wait until it's a real gig and I'm like, oh, it's you. I met you through Zoom and now I can see you.
That's the main thing. We're actually going to meet up and then it's going to be like, oh, you're wearing your Leeds shirt again.
Well, that's...
You'll be able to spot me from a mile away. That's the main thing.
Well, yeah.
Because everybody be throwing tomatoes at me.
Yes, everybody boo that guy in the Leeds shirt.
Everybody boo him. Cheer me. I'll be cheering loud for you anyhow. That's the main thing.
Oh, now I sound like a horrible person.
You see, that's it. I mean, I just try my hardest to be nice, and I try my hardest to...
Don't stop.
So, towards the end of this podcast, I like to ask a couple of questions. I like to see what happens on people's nights out. So, it's like the start of a night out, and then it goes through the night, and then it ends up like the next morning kind of thing. Now, you've already given me some of your answers earlier regarding coffee and tea. You don't normally drink coffee and tea. That's like towards the end of it, what would you rather drink? Now, at the start of a night out, you go out for a drink. What drinks do you drink? What is your go-to alcoholic drink?
My go-to is a Southern Comfort with lemonade and lime juice.
Lemonade and lime juice?
Yeah.
That is... Why don't you just go for something like Sprite or 7-Up? That's already like a lemon and lime.
It would be cheaper. It would be a lot cheaper, actually. Don't get drunk, though, does it?
No, that's fair play. I mean, I do love a good Southern Comfort.
Yeah, Southern Comfort. Or just general whiskey and Coke. Or, as the night goes on, Sambuca.
Sambuca. Oh.
I do love Sambuca.
What about tequila, then, if you're a Sambuca fan?
It doesn't have the same burn.
Yeah, but Sambuca's just like pure aniseed.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with tequila. I do like tequila. But, yeah.
No, fair play. I mean, we all have our things. I mean, mine's a Jack Daniels and Diet Coke normally. If I go to the social club round here. And then if I was to drink like lager, it'd be like Budweiser, so pretty boring.
Yeah.
Boring. All right, going on from there, if you had to choose between a venue, what would you rather go and spend the night in? Would you rather spend the night in a bar? Would you rather spend the night in a pub? Or would you rather spend the night in a club?
Oh. I think not a club.
Not a club. A clubbing day is done for you now, then?
I don't know. I don't. Hope not.
There's just not been into it.
Yeah.
I get that.
But I hope not. Yeah, I sound a bit old now. I still go out clubbing. Yeah.
Yeah, go clubbing. Go around, chef. Club. Yeah. Go on. So either a pub or a bar?
I'd say a bar. Unless the pub has good vibes, but bar.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any, do you want to name drop any of your favourite bars around? Or are you going to keep that secret in case you get stalkers?
I'll shout out Lead Mill. Lead Mill's good.
Oh, Lead Mill. Oh.
Lead Mill.
That's like the go-to place for indie artists in the north, in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about... We talked about Arctic Monkeys earlier, and I'm sure that's like their first gig kind of place was Lead Mill.
Yeah, something like that. I've only played most in Sheffield. I think Lead Mill's played an important part in one of the gigs, one of the big gigs. I'm sure it's that.
I can't remember. It's years ago now. That was like two.
Plug. It might be Plug. I
can't remember. It's years ago now. That this is just literally off the cuff.
Yeah.
All right, going on from the bar. You've had your skin full. You're feeling a bit tipsy. You're walking home. You think, I'm a bit hungry. What do you have?
Pizza or chicken and chips. Chicken nuggets and chips.
Is that from like where you cook it at home, which you shouldn't do because, you should never use utensils intoxicated, or do you go to a restaurant, fast food thing?
No, I go to fast food.
Fast food.
Yeah.
All right. Next day then, you've had your chicken and chips, you've got over your hangover. I'm then asking her, what do you have in the morning to get rid of your hangover? Now, normally it's like tea or coffee, but you've said earlier you don't drink it. So what do you have in the morning?
Well, by the time I wake up, it's normally afternoon.
That's a good night out then.
Yeah, most of the time when I was at uni, it would be, I'd go for Mackie D's.
Oh, Mackie D's.
Yeah.
Have you been to any that's been opened yet?
I haven't, no. I nearly did the other night. I was like, I want them a chicken sandwich meal. That's right, I don't want to sit in the queue. I haven't been yet.
That's the craziest thing, is the queues. I mean, there's one near me, near Selby, and the queue goes like between all the shops, all the cars that go, going round the drive-through. It's just, you have to like drive an extra mile around just to park up at the other shops you want to go to. If I want to go to Aldi, I'm screwed.
But I think like what's scary about that is that's just McDonald's. Like when everything opens next week, is everyone just gonna flock to it all? I don't know.
That's the frustrating thing. It makes it so much more difficult for everything else. I mean, it's McDonald's. Yeah. I mean, I've missed it. But
it's going to be open now again, isn't it? So like, it's here to stay.
Exactly. It's not like they're going to close it tomorrow. You best get this food quick. It's going.
Yeah. I don't want a McDonald's now, though.
If you had to choose then between going to a fast food place like McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, etc., or going to like a sit-down restaurant like, I want to say Frankie and Benny's, but they've now closed down, haven't they? Nando's, TGI's, that kind of restaurant. What would you rather do?
Definitely sit down.
Sit down. Where's your favourite kind of restaurant to sit down then? Is it a cheeky Nando's? Such a horrible phrase.
I do love a TGI Fridays, Jack Daniel's sauce.
Oh, the best. That is the best sauce.
Yeah. No, yeah, TGI's, I'll go that.
Fair. I love that. Love that answer. All right, I think that's all the questions.
That's good.
Thank you, Harriet, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Everybody take care, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
That was the Country Chat Podcast. Join Dom next time for exclusive interviews, reviews, and general chit-chat on all things country music.